This episode is made possible by listeners like you. Your support means everything. Thank you for tuning in.
Prepare for warp speed as we embark on a voyage through the vast expanse of science fiction in movies and television series. From distant planets to alien civilization, we delve into the heart of the unknown, unraveling the tales that have captured audiences for generations. Get ready to unlock the secrets of the universe on CodeFlix.
Greetings, fellow sci-fi and fantasy lovers. Welcome to CodeFlix, where we explore the TV shows and movies that shape our imaginations. I'm Andre Bonner, and in today's episode, we'll be looking at humanity's fight against extraterrestrial invasion in the movie Independence Day. As a fan of The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, seeing Will Smith in this movie was a real treat. He had his fair share of great films, but this one definitely stands out. His portrayal of a marine pilot with dreams of becoming an astronaut brought the perfect mix of charm, humor, and action. If nothing else, this movie cemented itself as a pop culture icon, thanks to its unapologetic pro-American theme, taking on an alien invasion while the rest of the world watches, powerless to act. But let's talk about that plot twist. An advanced alien species capable of interstellar travel, defeated by a simple computer virus. Sounds familiar, right? This was a common sci-fi trope around the time, but it didn't stop the movie from becoming a blockbuster hit. When I first watched it, I had no idea that this event was an actual holiday in the US. But by the time the sequel rolled around, I was already invested, eager to see where the story would go next.
Independence Day, also promoted as ID4, is a 1996 American science fiction action film, 2-3, directed by Roland Emmerich, written by Emmerich and the film's producer Dean Devlin. The film stars an ensemble cast of Will Smith, Bill Pullman, Jeff Goldblum, Mary McDonnell, Judd Hirsch, Margaret Collin, Randy Quaid, Robert Loggia, and Vivica A. Fox. The film follows disparate groups of people who converge in the Nevada desert in the aftermath of a worldwide attack by a powerful extraterrestrial race. With the other people of the world, they launch a counterattack on July 4th, Independence Day in the United States. Conceived by Emmerich while promoting Stargate, 1994, the film aimed to depict a large-scale alien invasion, departing from typical portrayals of extraterrestrial visits. Filming began in July 1995 and was completed in October that same year. Upon its release on July 3, 1996, Independence Day was considered a pivotal moment for the Hollywood blockbuster, leading the resurgence of disaster and science fiction films in the late 1990s. The film received generally positive reviews from critics, with praise for the cast performances, musical score, and visual effects, but criticism for its character development. It emerged as a major commercial success at the box office, grossing over $817.4 million worldwide on a production budget of $75 million. It became the highest-grossing film of the year and the second highest-grossing film ever at the time, behind Jurassic Park, 1993. The film won the Academy Award for Best Visual Effects and was nominated for Best Sound, for. A sequel, Independence Day, Resurgence, was released 20 years later on June 24, 2016, as part of a planned series of films. On July 2, 1996, an extraterrestrial mothership enters Earth's orbit and deploys saucers, each 15 miles, 24 kilometers in diameter, over major cities worldwide, including New York City, Los Angeles, and Washington, D.C. U.S. Marine Captain Stephen Hiller and his unit, the Black Knights Fighter Squadron out of Mcos El Toro, are called back from Independence Day leave. His girlfriend, Jasmine Dabro, decides to flee the city with her son, Dylan. Retired combat pilot Russell Cass, now an alcoholic single father and crop duster, sees this as vindication of the alien abduction he has been claiming for 10 years. In New York City, technician David Levinson decodes a signal embedded within global satellite transmissions, realizing it is the aliens' countdown for a coordinated attack. With help from his ex-wife, White House Communications Director Constance Pano, David and his father Julius reach the Oval Office and alert President Thomas Whitmore. Whitmore orders evacuations of the targeted cities in the US, but it is too late. Each saucer fires a beam, incinerating every targeted city, killing millions. Whitmore, the Levinsons, and a few others escape aboard Air Force One while Jasmine, Dylan, and their dog Boomer take shelter in a tunnel's inspection alcove, emerging once the destruction is over. On July 3, counterattacks against the invaders are thwarted by the alien warship's force fields. Each saucer launches a swarm of shielded fighters, which devastate the human fighter squadrons and military bases, including Captain Hiller's. Hiller lures an enemy fighter into the Grand Canyon before ejecting from his plane, blinding the fighter using his parachute and causing the alien to crash in the Mojave Desert. He subdues the downed alien and flags down a convoy of refugees, transporting the alien to Area 51, where Whitmore's group in Air Force One has landed. Defense Secretary Albert Nemziki reveals that a government faction has been involved in a UFO conspiracy since 1947 when one of the invaders' fighters crashed near Roswell, New Mexico. Area 51 houses the now refurbished ship and 3 alien corpses recovered from the crash. As chief scientist Dr. Brackish Oken examines the alien captured by Steven. It awakens, telepathically invades Oken's mind and launches a psychic attack against Whitmore before being killed by Secret Service agents and military personnel. Whitmore reveals what he learned when they linked the invaders' plan to annihilate Earth's inhabitants and harvest its natural resources, as they have already done to other planetary civilizations. Whitmore reluctantly authorizes a trial nuclear attack against a saucer above Houston, but the ship is unharmed, while the city is destroyed by the blast, and all subsequent nuclear attacks are aborted. Jasmine and Dylan commandeer a highway maintenance truck and rescue a handful of survivors, including the critically injured First Lady, Marilyn Whitmore. Though Hiller rescues them and takes them to Area 51, Marilyn's injuries are too severe, and she dies after reuniting with her family. On July 4, taking inspiration from his father, David writes a computer virus on his laptop computer to disrupt the alien's shield operating system and devises a plan to upload it into the mothership from the refurbished alien fighter, which Hiller volunteers to pilot. The US military contacts the world's remaining military forces and airborne squadrons through Morse code to organize a united counterattack. Lacking pilots, Whitmore and General William Gray enlist volunteers with flight experience, including Russell Cass, from the refugee camp at the base to fly the remaining jets at Area 51. Whitmore leads an attack on a saucer bearing down on the base, overseen by Gray. Hiller marries Jasmine with David and Constance in attendance before leaving on the mission. Entering the alien mothership, they upload the virus and deploy a nuclear missile, destroying it and the aliens' invasion forces. With the shields deactivated, Whitmore's squadron engages a saucer and its fighters heading to Area 51, but exhausts their ammunition. As the saucer prepares to fire on the base, Russell sacrifices himself by crashing into the saucer's primary weapon before it fires, destroying the warship. Gray then orders notifications to the resistance groups worldwide of the spaceship's critical weakness and they destroy the others. As humanity rejoices in their victory against the aliens, Hiller and Levinson reunite with their families. Themes in Independence Day, 1996. Unity in diversity. The film emphasizes global unity in the face of a common enemy. It portrays people of different nations, cultures, and backgrounds coming together to fight for humanity's survival. Human resilience and ingenuity. Humanity's ability to adapt, innovate, and fight back is a central theme. The human spirit triumphs over an advanced alien force through collaboration, bravery, and creativity. Patriotism and leadership. The film celebrates patriotic ideals with leadership and sacrifice symbolized by President Whitmore's inspiring speech and willingness to join the fight. Sacrifice for the greater good. Acts of self-sacrifice, like Russell Cass's heroic decision to fly his plane into the alien ship, underscore the theme that individual sacrifices can have profound impacts on collective survival. Technological dependency and vulnerability. The alien invaders symbolize over-reliance on advanced technology, and humanity's victory highlights the power of resourcefulness and using unconventional methods to exploit weaknesses. Symbols in Independence Day. The alien mothership represents overwhelming power, control, and the existential threat of external forces beyond human comprehension. The destruction of landmarks. Iconic scenes of landmarks being obliterated symbolize the fragility of human achievements and the indiscriminate devastation of war. The President's Speech. A symbol of hope, unity, and determination, the speech galvanizes humanity to come together and fight as one. Area 51. Symbolizes secrecy, the unknown, and humanity's fascination and fear of extraterrestrial life. It also serves as the hub of technological ingenuity and humanity's last stand. Russell Cass's kamikaze attack represents redemption, sacrifice, and the ability of ordinary individuals to make extraordinary contributions. Conclusion. Independence Day, 1996 is a thrilling celebration of humanity's resilience, unity, and ingenuity in the face of an existential threat. By blending patriotic fervor, large-scale destruction, and themes of sacrifice, it underscores the importance of global cooperation and the enduring strength of the human spirit. Its iconic symbols and inspirational message continue to resonate, solidifying its place as a cornerstone of 1990s science fiction cinema. Here's a character analysis of the main figures in Independence Day in 1996. Captain Stephen Hiller, Will Smith. Hiller is a confident, skilled fighter pilot with a heroic and charismatic personality. His determination, bravery, and quick thinking make him a crucial figure in humanity's resistance against the alien invaders. His humor and leadership make him a relatable and inspiring hero. President Thomas J. Whitmore, Bill Pullman. Whitmore is a former fighter pilot turned president, struggling with doubt early on but rising to become a symbol of unity and hope. His famous speech embodies his transformation into a decisive and courageous leader. David Levinson, Jeff Goldblum. David is a brilliant yet socially awkward scientist who uncovers the aliens' signal and devises the plan to disable their shields. His intellect, resourcefulness, and rekindled relationship with his ex-wife add depth to his character. Julius Levinson, Judd Hirsch. Julius, David's father, provides comic relief and wisdom. His faith in his son and pragmatic outlook contrast with the chaos of the situation. Russell Cass, Randy Quaid. A quirky and flawed Vietnam veteran, Russell redeems himself by sacrificing his life in the final battle. His journey highlights themes of redemption and courage. Constance Spano, Margaret Collin. David's ex-wife and White House communications director, Constance is intelligent, driven, and compassionate. Her relationship with David provides emotional grounding. Jasmine Dabro, Vivica A. Fox. Jasmine, Hiller's girlfriend, is resourceful and brave, demonstrating resilience as she protects her son and others during the crisis. Her dynamic with Hiller adds warmth to the story. Dr. Brackish Oken, Brent Spiner. Dr. Oken is the eccentric scientist overseeing Area 51. His enthusiasm and curiosity about the aliens provide a lighter tone even as he becomes a key figure in understanding the invaders. Each character in Independence Day reflects themes of courage, resilience, and unity in the face of overwhelming odds, contributing uniquely to the film's epic narrative. Here is a detailed overview of the production and design of the film. Production. 1. Development. Roland Emmerich and producer/writer Dean Devlin conceptualized the film after being inspired by discussions about alien invasions during the press tour for their earlier movie Stargate, 1994. They wanted to create a modern alien invasion story that focused on large-scale destruction and humanity's resilience. The film was greenlit by 20th Century Fox with a budget of approximately $75 million. 2. Filming. Principal photography began in July 1995 and lasted 72 days. Most of the film was shot on sound stages and practical locations in California and Utah. Large-scale miniatures and real-world locations were used for the destruction sequences. The White House explosion scene was filmed on a massive soundstage using one of the largest miniature sets ever built for a film. 3. Casting. The ensemble cast included Will Smith as Captain Stephen Hiller, marking his breakout role in Hollywood. Jeff Goldblum as David Levinson, the scientist who devises the plan to defeat the aliens. Bill Pullman as President Thomas J. Whitmore, delivering the film's iconic speech. Supporting roles were filled by Mary McDonnell, Judd Hirsch, Randy Quaid, and others, providing a mix of humor, emotion, and heroism. Design. 1. Production design. The film's production design, led by Patrick Tetopoulos, emphasized a mix of sleek alien technology and gritty human environments. Alien ships. The design of the alien mothership, 15 miles in diameter, and city-destroying saucers, over 3 miles wide, was inspired by classic UFO lore but scaled up to evoke awe and terror. The saucers featured intricate surface details, with a biomechanical aesthetic combining organic and mechanical elements. Alien interiors. The interiors of the alien ships were dark, organic, and hive-like, with glowing blue-green light emphasizing the otherworldly atmosphere. Area 51. The secret government base was designed with a utilitarian aesthetic, featuring labs, hangars, and military command centers. It served as the hub for humanity's counterattack. 2. Visual effects. Independence Day won the Academy Award for Best Visual Effects thanks to its groundbreaking combination of practical effects and CGI. Miniatures. Large-scale miniatures were used extensively for destruction sequences, including the White House, Empire State Building, and Los Angeles cityscape. The White House explosion, achieved by combining practical fire effects and pyrotechnics with miniatures, became one of the most iconic scenes in film history. CGI. Although practical effects dominated, CGI was used for the alien ships, their energy weapons, and large-scale aerial battles. Digital effects were relatively advanced for the time, enhancing the film's realism. Destruction sequences. The filmmakers used slow-motion photography to heighten the drama of the large-scale destruction. The explosions were meticulously choreographed, with fire and debris spreading in detailed patterns. 3. Alien design. The alien species, designed by Patrick Tetopoulos, featured 2 layers. The exosuits. The larger, biomechanical exosuits were designed to appear intimidating and warlike. The core aliens. Inside the suits were smaller, frail creatures with elongated heads and tentacle-like appendages, emphasizing their dependence on technology for combat and survival. 4. Cinematography. Carl Walter Lindenlob, the cinematographer, used a mix of wide-angle shots for the epic destruction scenes and close-ups to capture the human drama. The iconic shot of the alien ship hovering over the White House utilized clever lighting and compositing to convey scale and menace. 5. Sound design. Sound design was integral to creating the film's sense of scale and tension. The alien ships emitted deep, ominous hums, contrasting with the explosive sounds of the human counterattack. The destruction sequences were accompanied by layered sound effects, including crumbling buildings, roaring flames, and screams, immersing the audience in the chaos. 6. Music. Composed by David Arnold, the score blended heroic orchestral themes with darker, suspenseful motifs for the alien invasion. The rousing, triumphant theme underscored humanity's resilience and the climactic battle scenes. Key design elements. The White House explosion. Achieved with a 1/12th scale miniature of the White House, detailed down to the windows and facade. The explosion was shot using high-speed cameras to capture the fiery destruction in stunning detail. The opening shot. The mothership's approach to Earth, slowly eclipsing the moon, was a mix of practical miniatures and digital compositing, establishing the alien threat's overwhelming scale. Dogfight sequences. The aerial battles between human fighter jets and alien ships combined practical effects, miniature jets, with CGI enhancements, creating dynamic and visually thrilling action scenes. The alien autopsy. The alien autopsy scene featured practical effects, with animatronics and puppetry creating a lifelike alien corpse. The scene's tension was heightened by the creature's sudden revival. Legacy of production and design. The ambitious scale of Independence Day set a new standard for blockbuster filmmaking, inspiring countless disaster films and sci-fi epics. Its practical effects, combined with CGI, demonstrated the potential of blending traditional techniques with emerging technologies. Iconic visuals like the White House explosion and the alien mothership remain hallmarks of 1990s cinema. Independence Day remains a masterclass in spectacle-driven filmmaking, with its meticulous production and design contributing significantly to its cultural impact and enduring popularity.
So here are my personal insights and interpretations of Independence Day, including some of my favorite moments and characters. So, the opening scene, we see the moon trembling, and we just see a shadowy figure, this massive shadowy figure just slowly engulf the whole of the American flag that was planted by the Apollo 11 mission, right? Then we realize the shadow actually belonged to an enormous alien mothership that is approaching Earth. And then we see it mothership deploy several city-sized, big, about, saucers, about mostly 15 miles in a diameter. And they descend towards the major cities worldwide, including New York, Washington, and Los Angeles. Now, the scientists them now start to see what going on because them they watch SETI. If you are familiar with SETI, they search for extraterrestrial intelligence. It's an institute, right? So SETI is a acronym for search for extraterrestrial intelligence, right? Sorry for breaking it down, but some people don't know that, right? Scientists, them detect signal from the mothership now, right? And how they would know this is because they've been studying the, space for years. And so when them realize, say, this signal is not like any other signal that they would have picked up before, because there are some stars that, give off certain signatures, certain radar signatures, and they sound differently, right? And when compared to something that's artificial, they will be able to determine, oh, this is what is happening. And that's how they know sometimes when there are asteroids on the way, they know certain things because, there's a change in the sound or, the frequencies that they're using that would, give them that interpretation. So they realize, something very artificial about this signal. So we need to send this up the chain, right? So, of course, the president is informed about it, and worldwide, people see the ship them in a sky. The president is this young politician, basically, and you can say he must struggle to keep his public reputation and his perception, because a lot of his approval ratings are going down. It's on the decline. Now, get informed about the alien ship them, and it take a little while for him totally give a response because he's this is something that he would not have expected and anybody in a role like that, especially when say you have some issues or you're not the favorites of the mass right now. To have something like this happen to you where you're in a situation where you basically can't deal with it. You know what I'm saying? Anybody would be flustered and not be able to respond quickly. Anyway, this guy who is a MIT educated satellite technician who work in New York. Apparently, he might work for one place where, them do news and stuff. So it's like one of those stations, right? And, at first it's like it it didn't seem like much. It seemed like a regular day in the office. But then after him, he's approached by, one of the persons that he work with about certain things and start looking into it and he realized that the signal is embedded in Earth's satellites, right? In artificial satellites that would have been, sent up. So, this means the alien them use them own satellites, right? Earth's own satellites to send communication and signals and scramble communications on the ground too, right? Now, we get introduced now to, Steve Hiller, who is, Will Smith, and I love him this role because it shows, a lot of his versatility, and up until that point, he would have been getting a lot of roles and stuff. And this one kind of cemented him as this kind of action hero, in that way, you know what I'm saying? Making him be able to move on to bigger roles. He plays the Marine fighter pilot now who was in a relationship with his girlfriend, right? And I'm not even gonna, comment on the fact that what she does, as a person would be looking at it and say, oh, say whatever. But yeah, but he's involved with her, and she has that job, and she plays the role convincingly too, because you don't get to, it's not like you're introduced to a dual personality with her either, because the same way that she's at home is the same way she at work. You know what I'm saying? She's, she does have that. She's not about the two worlds thing. Is that like I said, she at work, she's out there and thing, just because she's an exotic dancer, don't mean say, why, she carried that home in terms of why the persona of, whatever. Anyways, I'm not gonna talk anymore about that right now. Right, so I'm very eager to join the NASA. And he got a letter the same day, very same day when this happened. As a matter of fact, when you wake up the morning and doing morning ritual like everybody else, you never expect to see an alien spaceship in the sky in front of him house. And just like everybody else was terrified, everybody was running off. He had to run off. So he ended up running off to the base, right? And him asks him girlfriend, say, if she can come and meet him, because his plan is to get married to her, right? So when all of them thing, what happened now, him end up go, right? Him see the letter in him locker, and him ask when I'm bridging him, say, yo, read this out for me. You know what I'm saying? Cause me can't read it because I'm so, me too anxious. And I read it to him and thing, and it, that play at first, and then it gets serious because, it wasn't good news, right? Anyways, we're still in the middle of a catastrophe anyways, right? But, so to get that feeling, say, boy, you're never gonna make it, like your dreams just get dashed. It's not a good feeling, I know. Now, there is a fourth person who is very integral to the plot. I believe he's Russell Case, right? Now, this man, him a former Vietnam War pilot and got into alcohol, right? He believes he was abducted by aliens some years ago, and because of that, people are gonna say, yo, yeah, conspiracy theorists, and so people always be like mocking him and thing. Him end up go to one bar and they mock him, right? That when we're introduced to him, he was so drunk that he crop dusted the wrong field, right? And the people them, they were so happy that him made the mistake that they were smiling at him, Yeah. Him son come tell him, right? And you can see the disappointment in the son. him have to reprimand him father, because him father now behave like a father. Yeah. So, as I mentioned before, David would have recognized, say, there is a strange signal coming from the satellites, and he deciphered it, and he figured out that it seemed to be like a countdown. I don't know how him made that leap to that, because, I mean, I guess that it's not fully explained how him really, come to that conclusion, because perhaps, but I mean, there could have been a little bit of an explanation, even if I want just one simple one, but it didn't seem like, it just seemed like, they just want to make it just have that connection as him smart enough, so him could have just figure it out right there and then. You know what I'm saying? Because you can know say something artificial, but you don't know exactly what it is doing, right? And even if you see something that go down or go up or whatever, you don't know if it's going to stop and then go down, or it's going to cycle or up and down. You know what I'm saying? But that's just me picking apart that little piece of thing there. Anyways. So, it makes the inference that at some point it might reach zero, and we might be in for something serious, right? So it basically, leave work and thing because, he wants to get the word to the president, right? And because him know somebody, right? Him farmer lover, love interest who works in the White House. So he goes there, right? And I love how he, they show you even more of his skills for say, this man, shouldn't just be working, at just any little satellite station, right? This man's supposed to be some kind of, smarty pants or genius, because they have him call, when they couldn't find a signal and thing, and find a way to triangulate the position and all of these things using some technical stuff, mumbo jumbo kind of thing, But, as I said, I'm not going to dig at it too much, right? So he eventually gets to go in, he's invited in and stuff, and we get to find out, say, him and the president don't have the best of relationships, because him thumped down the president or the former president, right? Which him father hear about it, and he's like, the president? And he's like, no, the former president, before he was president, because he would have been running at the time, but him never president them time there. So him make the distinction, say, me never thump the president, but they thump the the guy that was before, before he became president. That's just so funny. All right. So, tell the president about it, and of course, say, boy, most movie, right away, president believe you. You know what I'm saying? Once you come in with all of you, once you come in convincingly, you bust through the door, or you get somebody to vouch for you. Yeah, man, president believe you. All right? Yeah. So, president believe him and thing. And he goes in and thing, and him consult with the people them and thing, and tell, say, whatever. No, I'm never really do that. No. Just carry him along and be like, yeah, this man or the man, just, make him go on the way I do. Make him try to figure out certain things. So, then you realize now, say, it get serious and thing, and the fact say that the ship, right, is right over the head of the White House. The president say, all right, you know what, let's leave, right? And they get out and thing, and him tell them, say, make sure, say, my wife get out and thing and whatever. So she at the same time, they call her and call the first lady. First lady get ready for get out of where she was too, right? Mass panic. And him that say, boy, may I avoid the mass panic. May I go try and talk to people them thing. And him talk to them. As soon as he talk to them, people them panic said away. They need business. Yeah. So that would have happened before David and his father did arrive at the White House. Now, after they got onto the Air Force One, right, the helicopter first and thing, and then them get to Air Force One, the first lady also, she got on her chopper as she get up on the chopper, so the alien ship them does activate and decimate the White House, right? So there are some staffers who were leaving at the last minute and them get caught up in another explosion. Yeah. Oh, I forgot to mention there was a friend of Steven's girlfriend that, or co-worker, I should say, when she was at work, she was telling her that, well, go down, go see the aliens and thing and whatever. And she's like, man, I feel like you should go. And it's like, she tell her, like, she say, may have a premonition about it. And it's almost like that, Like, she tell her, say, yo, don't go. Yeah, you know me right about it, right? Many times when I tell you, say, don't go, me know why me I tell you, yeah, that kind of a vibe there. So my girl still go anyways, of course. And she was right in the middle of the ray. So she get double kill, triple kill right there, right? Okay. I'm trying to keep this podcast very censored. Anyways. Yeah, so some whole heap of things blow up and mash up because, the way how it is almost like, when you have a blast radius, like citywide, just go poof from the center, go out, and everything in its path get ruptured. At the same time, Steven's girlfriend, to be wife, was with her son on her way to him, to the base and thing, but they get stuck in traffic, so had to wait and think. So when time the blast go off now, you know what I'm saying? Everybody start foot it and thing and round her, and when she realized everybody round her start foot it now, she say, wait, I want to go. When she look around, just see the something that come like all of the buildings, them and the car, there was a flip behind her. My lady take her son out of her car and foot it. They had a dog too, and she find one little, they call it one little spot right at one tunnel there now, and she open it. But I was thinking about that. I'm wondering if that could really, if it could have really hold from such a blast, right? Because we see where buildings are demolished and wrecked really. So probably the structural integrity of the tunnel was much better, right? That they could survive it because there was a chance that things could have gone worse, right? Because especially when you hide in such a small room, and even if earthquake come and shake, you don't really want to be in a small room because anything can happen. The room could collapse around you. The walls could literally crush you, right? But yeah, she survived, right? And she goes on to be very integral to the escape, the movement afterwards, because everybody who survived as well, was with her, going down on the truck. Anyways, back to President David now. So once they were able to escape onto Air Force One, right? And them hear about Washington, D.C., and they weren't hearing from the team that had the first lady. So they were like concerned because they must say, yo, what? No, my wife must say, where is she? I don't really want to talk because, yeah, I don't want to wish the worst right now. But yeah, anything can happen now. So, they eventually got to talking, I guess, about certain things. David did have some problems flying because him that get sick on him something there. So him end up get up, got the bathroom, and when him come back from the bathroom, when I walk past where they were talking about what was happening and thing, David chime in like he must say, yo, you can't, do that because you basically sacrifice people's life and them thing. Like I think they were talking about like a doomsday scenario where they want to like just bomb them nuclear blast and whatever. Because them send, them send a probe before and thing. Well, not really a probe, but like a light interaction system on a helicopter, and the aliens took out the helicopter, right? Without warning or not. Anyways, them try to send in some fighter jet and thing, and that is with Captain Stephen Hiller, right? his squadron and thing, for attack the alien ship them. But the alien technology them, them able to produce an impenetrable force field around their ships, right? Which just make it come like, say, when you fire pew pew, pew 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 pew, and it just, it just come like water, it just bounce off. Yeah. Hilla, him fight and thing, he had his brethren alongside him where, the same one who read him the letter. And he was like, yo, you know what I'm saying? We have to get out of this. We have to leave because we're outgunned. We're not matched for this battle at all. But him brethren end up sacrificing himself. Well, not really sacrificing himself. I mean, him dead, stupidly still. Yeah. Him just, yeah. But anyways, him end up on his own, outmaneuvering the alien fighter and thing, and him carry it into the desert, through some cannons and thing, and, end up sacrifice his jet to get away and to also trick the alien fighter that is, following him. And yeah, and get it, and get it downed, right? So when him come down outside, it's a very famous scene. Him come down and thing, and it's like, yeah, that's how it is. You know what I'm saying? Will Smith have that kind of energy when it comes to things, and he's like, at that point, that was his kind of thing. That's what he's famous for. And good, him go to the ship and open the ship, and like, him no business what come up outside and how it come up. Him just see just come up one squid like looking thing, and him just do one punch in what he thinks is his head, right? Boom, welcome to Earth. I thought that was funny. I love that scene, I've said, and thing, and it's, it's a pop culture icon. I've seen it in a lot of spin-offs, a lot of, some little comedy or stuff. Yeah, they repeatedly reference that scene. Now, after I'm done that, now I make sure I say, wrap up the alien and thing in parachute, and him take time and drag it across the desert. Now, I wonder where him plan for go still, And I guess he was planning to go to his base, right? But I say, like, how far are you going to get? And there's a famous thing that I hear. I don't know how true it is. They said that where they were shooting, the location they were shooting this was on a salt lake, and that lake smell horrible. I know about lake where they are Jamaica, it smell bad. Salt pan where they out of St. Thomas, the side there, it smell horrible when it ready. So you can imagine the shooting, and he has to be in character. I mean, here say, when you hear him say, "What's that smell?" and he turn around and, from the alien, I that's what he was referencing, right? And I don't know how truthful that is, but that's what I saw them saying about it. We'll be right back after these messages.
Hey, lovely listeners, it's Rachel here. I can't believe we've reached the end of Season 1 of CodeFlix, exploring sci-fi cinema and TV. I just want to take a moment to say a heartfelt thank you for joining us on this magical journey through the captivating worlds of sci-fi storytelling. But here's the exciting part. Season 2 is on the horizon, and we'd love your help to make it even more special. What topics are you dreaming about? Do you have a favorite movie or series you'd love us to explore? Or maybe you've got some fresh creative ideas for new formats? We're all ears. You can share your thoughts by filling out the quick Google form linked in the show notes. Your feedback truly means the world to us and helps shape the show into something we can all love even more. Thank you for being part of this beautiful adventure. I'm so excited to see where Season 2 takes us, and we couldn't do it without you. Until then, stay curious, keep dreaming, and let's keep exploring these incredible stories together.
If you're enjoying our podcast and want to help us grow, we'd really appreciate it if you could share it with a friend or colleague who might enjoy our content. Your support means a lot and helps us reach more listeners who love sci-fi as much as we do. But anyways, lucky enough to come across some people who evacuate from the nearest town who, lucky enough, the same Mr. Case, Mr. Drunkard, Mr. Fly, my crop duster, right? Come in with, a band load of people. So, he gets a ride with them, right? Because he must say, the base where him know one base where they're nearby, right? The base that him know about is actually Area 51. And if anybody knows about Area 51, Area 51 is where they say the aliens are kept, right? And it's a big thing, even out there in the reality that, supposedly there was a crash-landed alien vessel around Roswell, right? And so back on the plane, Air Force One, we come back to where David was passing by and he heard what was happening and thing, and his father got involved trying to find out why they go about the place and thing, and he's like, after what you did at Roswell and cover up and thing, because and it was like, you talk foolishness, President told him and said, yo, yeah, you talk foolishness, nothing like that now. There's no such thing as no alien space, nothing at no alien crash. One of the guy over there was like, that's not entirely accurate. And the president's like, what? Bro, you never tell me what going on all along. We never know said this are going on. So they end up at Area 51, as well as, later on, we saw that Hiller arrives at Area 51 afterwards, right? When they arrive at Area 51, the head scientist at the facility, he was gushing. Oh, by the way, the head scientist is the same guy who plays Data in Star Trek. Wink, wink. Another series that I'm planning to do. Right? Fan here, what I'm saying, when I see my favorite actors and characters. That just gets me up. But anyways, it's these guys were like, whoa, we never see nobody before. We don't get let out often. You can imagine. That's what the bad behave like. Yo, it behave like one of those mad scientists who has been cooped up for too long, and it just sells. It just sells him in that role. Yeah. So them the there and thing, and he must show them around. The facilities, show them the alien craft, and then he's like, you want to meet them. You want to talk to one of them, right? And thing, and him carry them to one gallery, is like where the aliens, the ones that they took out of the craft, I guess, they found them there and thing, and they have them on display, So the president, tell David, say, if you tell them guy here what you know about the signal, and they're like, what signal? We are talking about and thing, and and start telling them about it and thing, and them even carry him, go show him inside of the ship, and, they're like, you make it look bad, because look how much years we have this, it's almost like, look how much years we have all of this, and you just yesterday, not even, just one day, and you get to figure out this already? No, man. Yeah, so, they see what's going on with that now and thing. Now, July 4th, because we've been seeing some little title cards that come up at every interval that shows like the day passing. So we're at July 4th now, and obviously that's their Independence Day, right? That I know now. I didn't know before. But the final battle plan, right, is when the scientists get the body of the downed alien, the one that was brought in by Captain Stephen, and they were trying to perform what they think is an autopsy because they think him dead. But he was not dead. He was unconscious, right? What a hell of a puncher Stephen gave, right? Yeah. So it knocked them out and took one of them, basically the head scientist, same guy, and used him as a way to talk directly to the president. And the president asked, what are your demands? What you want? And he's like, we don't really want nothing from you, really. We just want your planet. Like, we are going to take it. We no business. You know what I'm saying? We ain't negotiating here, nigga. You know what I'm saying? That's the vibe you're getting. So, you know what I'm saying? It has a way of getting into your head because of the proximity, and it gets into the president's head, right? And this is something that comes up in Resurgence. So if you want to hear me talk about Resurgence, you have to comment and, or like up this particular podcast episode. Let me know if you really want me to talk about the sequel to this movie, and I will do that. I have no problem. You know what I'm saying? I'm just leaving that there. I'm not going to tell you what happens, but yeah. So, they want the Earth's resources. So, of course, they're not going to give up, right? And in this case, America not going to give up, right? Because we don't see what happened with the other countries until like the last minute or so, yeah. But David now, he have a plan, right? And he came to this realization after, going down a rabbit hole of being drunk, and, his father came to him and, what happened to you, my son, why you behave so and thing. And it's like, yo, we don't know what we're gonna do and thing. And he's like, sure you know what you're gonna do, right? And thing. And he mentioned something about coal. And in his geeky mind, I don't know how that flipped now to him thinking, oh, I can give the computer virus to the alien mothership. Aha. I don't know. It's, what I'm saying? The leaps that his brain does, I don't know, as a genius to a former genius, right? Yeah. I don't know. All right. Anyways, he obviously might have tested this before, but then in front of everybody, right? Because they're like, I have something to show you guys. And tell one of the army guy them to shoot one cannon that is on top of the alien ship. And when him shoot at it, the deflector shield or the force field, bounce off the bullet, right? Which almost hit somebody in the room. Now, he uses the virus, which basically him disable the ship's force field, and it works. And then he tells him to shoot again, and it goes through, right? Anyways, so the plan is for them to basically take the same virus and infect the mothership. So how they're going to get it to the mothership, that part they weren't really clear about. But then Steve talk up and say, say, I feel like I can fly that still. And I say, all right. So when the two of them, when everybody else gone, the two of them and talk to one another, like him, I say, you really can infect it with that virus? And like, you really can fly that thing? You get what I'm saying? So with this little hair mailer now plan, I guess they would necessarily need now some way to get a distraction going, right? They need some device in there. So of course they enlist the forces of everybody around, because when the alien ships attacked initially, they destroyed several bases around the country and things. So they didn't get to Area 51, but all the other bases were, basically out of commission totally. Now, President Whitmore delivered an inspirational speech, and this was it. It was like that speech, man, that those rallying cry that that says, we will not go into the night. Quietly go into the night. We will not vanish without a fight. We're going to live on. We're going to survive. Today, we celebrate our Independence Day. And everybody cheered, right? I butchered the speech, but I'm sorry. I'm sorry, not sorry, really. But anyways, he needed the pilots, and of course, ace pilots, now turned drunk, conspiracy theorists, join the fray as well, as one of the pilots. So, he has been using crop dusters, so they're used to the new jet them or whatever, what the military would have. So, of course, they gave them a crash course basically on how to operate it. I don't know how them learn to do all of that in a little time where they have to do. But I guess, when you don't have the manpower, you just have to just move with what you have. You know what I'm saying? Work with what you got. Yeah. So, of course, President Hiller, Hiller and David, they take the alien ship to space, right? After a little goof and a hiccup in the first place of flying it, they went to the mothership, right? And as they managed to reach close enough, the mothership started to, throw out the tractor beam, tractor beams, they take a vessel and basically like lower it in basically. It's like, it's like an autopilot basically for the ship, right? So it guides it in and them go inside. And when them go inside of the mothership, oh my, you know what I'm saying? It was crazy. The amount of alien ships and this, just a vast, amount of, so say, them not intend to lose this battle, That's what the aliens, they came and they were planning to conquer, right? They came, they saw, and they planned to conquer. The plan is not to fail, no way, right? As the ship is taken in, at the same time, President and the rest of the squadron and case, them the there and them approach, them wait upon the signal for the, virus to be uploaded and thing, right? And so everybody's on, the edge of their seats basically, just waiting to see what's happening, and my anticipation peaked when I saw this initially. I was like, what's going to happen now? Like, I can't watch, that kind of thing. So they get, to secure themselves in, by closing the blinds. So the aliens could appear in and see, that was two humans that are, guiding the ship. So, they have a little hiccup, but they eventually came out of that. We're able to upload virus. Virus has been deployed. So yes, shields must come down, all right? So they start to fire at the ships, but nothing. Oh, I forgot to mention. So the word would have gotten out to the rest of the world, different areas of the world, that the Americans are planning something and, thing. So, everybody are wait for see what happen and thing. Then eventually it takes a little while, for all the systems to be synchronized. So all of this, the shields them, all of the ships them come down. So them start fight on a level playing ground now. Because, they can hit them now. They can, destroy them. So them start knock them out and thing. Just, take time and knock them out now and thing. So the big ship now realize, say, well, go on. So the big ship ready now for fire again now, one big blast. So them try them best now for come and, target the gun, but that never work out. So Russell Case, the man where seek now for be redeemed by his actions. Him sacrifice himself, kamikaze mission kind of thing, Right before he does that, he, tells his son, he tell him children rather that him love them. And just as he's about to be destroyed by the beam and the ship and, his aircraft flying into it, he says, guys, I'm back. That's another good quote there, what I'm saying? Like, because he believes he was abducted by the same aliens, but it might not have been the same aliens, right? Anyways, who not tell say of them, right? Again, please comment if you want me to talk about part 2 of Independence Day Resurgence. Yeah, man. So, of course, his suicide mission, his suicide attack destroys the command ship. I really felt like I was glad to see that this happened, but at the same time, I was like, couldn't he have survived, so that we could have that redemptive arc of being able to, show that, yeah, yeah, you know what I'm saying? You're expecting another character like him. You want, persons to identify with him because you know, he's a war vet and he went through some stuff, So you want to see, him live. You want to see, but I guess they felt like that was the best way to go about it at the time. They want him to go full sacrifice. He had already sacrificed already. So, what I'm saying? That's why I'm thinking he should not have to had to sacrifice again, right? Because the things that you see in war, the things that happen, they're not pretty. It's not the best thing. Of course, there's a big celebration as humanity wins this battle, with the mothership destroyed now and the alien forces retreating, Yeah. So, of course, when the mothership was exploded, David and Stephen, no, they didn't have their position, so they never know, so them survive because, they had a harrowing escape from the ship because first thing, them have to get free of the locking mechanism that has the ship that held on to the ship. And then they had to leave from out of the ship, which when the alien them realize humans infiltrate them thing, them they go lock up the bay doors where they have on the ship and them scrape through that, and just as how them leave out, the ship they bomb up. Yeah. So, them light them cigar and thing, because it's a tradition for Stephen Fado. He was planning to do it with his other army brethren, but he did, never return from that mission there. But now he gets to do it with David, and, the joke, about whether or not, he thought this would have worked, in the first place. Yeah. So that is my analysis, my insight, my interpretations of Independence Day. Right? I hope you enjoyed it. So here are my theories about unresolved mysteries or plot points. So, in this particular movie, there are some things that really stand out to me, right? Especially where it comes to the aliens, them technology and them strategy, right? I've seen persons, like talk about like the dumbest aliens, the dumbest species and whatever. And yeah, but you see, the thing is, we're judging them based on just what the film was able to provide, right? And the filmmakers might not have accounted for certain things. But when we are accounting for it as fans, we tend to look at it in a broader way, because there are different ways we can take and look at this thing. One of the things that is most significant is the force fields, right? And how, they destroy the major cities, right? So of course, they might have did their little research. Them find out, say, why the planet Earth, them don't have no interstellar ships or whatever, right? And they might not have the kind of weaponry we have. Probably they developed a weapon to come and fight us just because, So it all depends on how long they have been planning for their, whether they want to destroy, or they want it to conquer, right? And I kind of leave it open because I'm thinking about it in terms of if humanity one day is able to develop such technology, it would be very easy for us, right, to say we can go to a different world and stuff and whatever. And then suppose we go there and we'll find that the primitives there don't know what they have. Are they not treating things the way that they should be? as how David indicated initially, is like, we need to take care of the earth we have. We're not taking care of it. We are, in a way, we are not showing much respect to it. So if we go and see another alien species doing that, we probably might think, hey, it's good. We can just, probably just take them out because they're not serving a good purpose. Them not live up to what they need to be living up to in terms of our ideology, Yeah. Because if history is a show of how colonization works, right? That we as a species, and I say we, I'm not gonna necessarily call out a race here and there because we all have a role to play. We have this idea that only our tribe, only we will, and it's because we believe that we might be superior in a certain circumstance or we feel like we're better equipped, right? That's why we have with Hitlers and we have with all of those, who have come before, to basically, subjugate another, right? Because they believe that they are the ones that deserve it more, or, because they believe that others are lesser because they don't ascribe to the things that we subscribe to. Yeah. So, they would have come in and believe that, hey, brute force is the only way. So they would have to come in and just destroy and wipe out, and that is it. Now, another thing that came to mind was also the whole idea of the government conspiracies and Area 51. I was about to say 55. I don't know where that came from. But most persons, I should say, would be aware of the fact that the US government has their Area 51 that is alleged to be hiding extraterrestrial life, right? There was an incident at Roswell, right? It's a real thing, right? In the 1940s. And people think since then, things have been covered up. And that's probably where all of the cover up is going on. And that's where everything there. Whether or not that is true is to be determined. But what I can tell you that I have seen is that there are certain things that you could cover up, but there are certain things you still have to account for, right? So, yeah, unless the whole idea of you having it in the open is the point, right? Because you don't hide something by putting things in the open or making things public, right? Or making certain things known, right? Because it doesn't distract from the point that, hey, something are going on here, so, right? So it would have been a serious bumbling at the time. Probably they must say, yeah, the first time they might encounter it, so that's why they would have do something like that. But who knows, right? And probably eventually I might look up in the sky one day and see an alien saucer or a spaceship passing overhead and be like, so they do exist. But that hasn't happened yet. So, yeah. Now, the other part of it now that would really, come to me, and as I would have mentioned when I was finishing up my deep dive, I was saying that, things that affect people in war, they tend to be long-term psychological effects on survivors. And, there are a lot of things that, can come out of these things, especially when you have such a climatic battle, right? And it shakes the world, right? That's why the world wars were so crazy, things slowed down for a while, right? A lot of innovation and creativity and all those things had basically stopped because there wasn't any outlet, no way for do that because we're in the middle of one war, similar like how we were in the middle of pandemic and a lot of freedoms we had to disregard because, hey, we're trying to, keep people surviving, right? And at the point that certain things had to be, tailored. But how we recover, right, will be determined by how humanity can cope with the traumas that, would have been issued out to us. So that is the most I can say about it, because in a situation like this, you want to see that things can go back to where they were, but it's not necessarily going to be that way. I mean, if an alien spaceship, even if it's not bent on war, right, but they come and challenge us, like, we want this earth, we're not going to kill you, no? We're going to give you a choice. You guys can allow us to take what we want from this earth. You know what I'm saying? Or, you know what I'm saying, the other thing can happen, right? So, these things, ride on a lot of, or, tends to let us think about some of the things that could happen in certain circumstances, and whether, humanity as it is now is equipped for that, because everybody might be aware that, humanity is not the most peaceful, right? Part of it is that we're not the most cohesive with one another, right? And that would be necessary for us to survive as a species, because we would have to recognize that we need one another in order to survive. How much do we really know about the aliens? Other than we know that they are here to annihilate Earth's inhabitants, right, for the resources. What are their motivations for doing so? Is it that they want to, are they engaged in some kind of, planet selling thing, What really has brought them to this level of saying, all right, we're gonna conquer this world, right? Because, coming back to the whole idea of colonization as something that we are familiar with, many times colonization was very expensive initially, right? So why would you take on such an expensive investment, not knowing what the full outcome of it? Because if they took over Earth, right, what would be left? Because they would have wiped out humanity. But there might be certain things that they would need humanity for, you know? Or is it that they plan to have a certain amount, a third of the population enslaved? Those are the type of things that, I would think about, this one. And again, I must say, Independence Day is a very thrilling narrative, and it's filled with a lot of action and heroism. But these mysteries, some of them will get some deeper points, plot points in the other movie. So please comment. Let me know if you really want me to go and do Resurgence, and I will do it, right? I'm looking for at least 10 persons to comment to let me know if you really want me to do it, okay? And share your theories, whether you think they are agreeing with some of my theories or they're not. Let me know of them in the comments. So in this episode, we looked at Independence Day, humanity's fight against extraterrestrial invasion. And what a fight it is, eh? That America would be a part of. And this movie, I think, even though it's so pro-American, it really is an exploration of a theme that can be carried over to any nation. That if we are faced with certain things, many times we want to be able to take on these struggles on our own or to figure it out. But sometimes we have to realize that we need support. We need others. We can't go it alone. No man is an island. No country is its own unto its own, right? And certain presidents have to realize that. We all are in it together. Yeah, sometimes things are gonna seem like, certain things on a level or things don't work out. But that's why we have dialogue. That's why we don't just get up and say we're gonna take over, right? We don't get up and just say, all right, all of the scientists in the world is gonna sit down and going to try to figure out FTL drives and hyperdrive so that we can go and conquer. That's not our way as a species. It might be that we have done these things in the past, but it does not define us. And I'm talking to, if there are any aliens out there that might be listening, that honor everyone always stand so. Not all of us are the same. Not all of us want the same things. But I can guarantee you one thing that everyone has in common is their own survival and their progeny's survival. I want my children to be able to look and say, my father was able to get me to this point and enable me to be able to be a better person, right? I don't want it to be said that, hey, I am here trying to incite any violence against anyone or unduly dismissing people. I try to be as inclusive as possible. I don't judge people based on what I see on the outside only, right? I'm not going to say I don't judge people, but I do take what they have said into account and match it back to what I see. And if it doesn't adds up, it doesn't adds up. But at the end of the day, we want to be in a good relationship with people, so we continue to give and take. We cooperate with one another. I hope that this message finds someone's ear who can find someone else's ear. And we can all try to strive towards a better society. And we can build the foundations to doing all the great things that we would love to see in this world. And that's it. That brings us to the end of this episode. We're voyaging through the universe of sci-fi television, and we've hit 700 downloads. Thanks to all you for the continuous support. Now, let's keep pushing toward 1,000. Engage with us, share your thoughts, and let's keep the conversation going. Thanks for tuning in, and until next time, stay curious.